Yeah, 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 yeah. And me dice, promesas son nada más que solo palabras, y si no las cumples, se van a desvanecer. Algún día volverás.
So Sonny, do you hear us there? In the
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I just have to pay attention to the Twitter space too. But yes, thank you so much, first of all, for coming out. And we wanted to just have a conversational sort of dialogue first to ask you sort of what your origin story is of how you ended up on doing NFTs on Ravencoin. I guess that would be my first question, and then really to watch your process too, to get an opportunity to watch your process.
Perfect.
And have some people ask questions too. So
yeah,
because I think your style is really original, and I love everything around the ocean. So, but yeah,
me too. I was gonna screen share and then just show you some stuff too, like my website and some things about the film. If there was a way to, I don't know if when you want to allow me to screen share.
I think
Sure,
you should be able to now. Let me see. Can you try right now?
It doesn't. It just says that I'm not. It says that
Okay.
I'm not allowed yet.
Yeah. So I just turned it. I just turned it on to share the screen.
Maybe I should leave and come back.
No, it should be applicable now.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Yeah, I guess if you want to try to come back in, because I definitely.
Let's see.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
It says I can't
You
share.
hear me, Frames?
Yeah.
I think maybe he's coming in and out again.
I'm muted.
yeah, I know he did leave, and I'm sure he's probably trying to come back in now.
I didn't see him leave.
What?
There
Okay.
he is.
Yeah.
Show me.
It says I'm muted now.
Well, hello, Inks, ET, SOS. How you guys doing?
It still says I can't screen share.
It's weird.
I'm glad I'm not alone with the person who has technical difficulties. We even have the computer whizzes.
Can you screen share?
I guess I'll turn everything on again.
Oh, here, now I can.
Yeah, the reason, can you try now?
Yeah.
It should be that box with the arrow. I'm not doubting you know.
Yeah.
Settings.
Okay.
There we go. Now it looks like it's coming up.
Oh,
Okay. So you can see me?
All right. Cool.
Yay! Awesome. Sorry,
I'm just-
thank you guys for your patience. We're
Yeah,
still.
let me test one more thing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna uncheck it. Hopefully it won't kick you up because I want to make sure that no one else can do it that randomly comes in. Oh, it did block you. Okay, sorry. Do it one more time. I know now. Sorry to cut you guys off. I'm gonna shut up now.
Oh, you want me to screen share again?
Yeah, can you try presenting again?
Yeah.
Frames.
Okay. There we go. Nice. Okay. So you can see my screen. Just Lightroom. Can you see Lightroom?
Yes, I love that.
Oh, how did I launch Fantasy Star Online? Awesome. Okay, here's Lightroom. I was gonna.
Do you hear Frames? I don't hear Frames.
I don't hear him either.
Am I muted again?
Frames,
Just a
if
sec.
you hear us, we don't hear you.
I'm gonna ask people in the.
Sorry, I muted myself again.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Yeah, there's so yeah, that was just quick Lightroom. I got Lightroom open. Did you want me to to introduce myself first, Sonny? Is that kind of the idea?
Well, yeah. So I guess we'll officially start now.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll make sure in the video we put on YouTube all of this technical stuff is out of there. So I guess 3, 2, 1, action.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so I'll go ahead. Yeah. So my real name is Dan. I live in Canada. And I'll just show you. You guys can still see my screen and stuff.
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so here's my website. I work as a creative director and videographer, and then you can see here some of my photography here. It's a little different than what I've kind of put out, but same kind of idea. Here's like some of the work that I've done. Like I toured. I don't know if anybody knows Russell Peters, the comedian. I did camera with him. This is a car show that I did. You can kind of see the little motion clips a bit. Hey, they're kind of showing up. I do time-lapse photography also. And then film photography, it was sort of just like a hobby, just to improve myself, make myself kind of a better digital photographer by being more particular, more picky about things I'm shooting, how I'm setting up shots, composing, exposure, and everything like that. Film just kind of is a different medium that challenges you to think more ahead about what you're actually shooting, where you can't shoot like 1,000 pictures of one thing and pick the best one. You got 36 or however many frames you have on your film roll to kind of get what you need, well, and plus you got to pay to process it too, so you want to be even more particular about it. So here's the main stuff that I've been shooting that you've seen mostly on Ravenous is this stuff, lomography, and this is what I've really been drawn to lately.
If you don't mind me asking,
yes.
What exactly is lomography?
It's just this company that kind of started designing their own films and things. Like, I mean, a lot of people thought that 35mm film, or even films in general, are just kind of dying, right? But these guys just kind of took it and ran with it. And it seemed like even like this stuff's all sold out. They're always like out of stock because so many people want it. So my first series that you saw with the Cuba stuff, it's all this like turquoise tone stuff. 35
and that's how the film records it, or did you do any post work to get it to look that way?
I'll show you kind of how it looks before and after with some of my stuff. Like I mean, obviously this probably has some post work done on it, but it's not a whole lot. Like the film just kind of it's almost like the purple stuff definitely is almost like an infrared type look, and this is sort of like an infrared type look also, or more sepia, I guess. Like this definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
That actually kind of reminds me of because I've shot film before. My first camera was a film camera. This is about 25 years ago, and it reminds me of when film goes bad. That it gets all weird colors.
Yeah.
It's
so when
oxidized.
I see that,
Yeah, it has that oxidized look. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember back in the day, if you wanted to get stuff like that, you'd have to put your film in the oven for like 4 hours at like 100 degrees or something.
Yeah,
and then it would tint it. So that's why I really like it. I thought you were doing that purposefully in post. I didn't realize that the film you were using was engineered to do that. So that's pretty amazing. Thanks for that.
Well,
Cool.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said I didn't know that either. That's really interesting. Do you develop the film too, like in a dark room, or do you have it processed?
Oh, I just go to the drugstore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's so funny.
well, I used to, and then the drugstore closed.
My dad used to have a dark room. Yeah, because you could do all that kind of stuff with the dark room too. You could with overexposure. And,
For sure. Yeah, but I mean the cost of the chemicals and everything to do that now is just kind of prohibitive, and then you're always running into supply issues too, because nobody's doing it. It's not readily available.
I really love this shot right here. That is really beautiful. You just feel that moment right there.
Yeah, it's
colorful.
It's crazy. And this is, it's just regular color negative. So, you can go get it processed at Walmart. I mean, I kind of would go to London Drugs here in Canada, which is a bit better, and they send everything out, and they'll do, they do slides and stuff. Some of my stuff later on you'll see is more geared towards slides, things like that. Like I have a bunch of Fuji slide, pro slide that I filmed. You'll kind of get some of it. Here's some of the purple stuff too. Little different kind of looking. And then my camera, I just it's just a regular
That's super cool.
1989 Canon. So I'll get over to this stuff now, because it's not too, there's nothing really to talk about too much about the camera. It's pretty simple. It just advances it. There's nothing really, no special lenses or anything. I have a few lenses that I use. I have some digital stuff, like those I just posted those IR pictures on WAGMI NFT. Those were digital with just like a red filter on them, doing some stuff with some sunflowers. Like if you do IR stuff, it's best to shoot nature stuff.
Do you mind showing us the listings? Because I don't want to have to change screens to present.
Oh yeah,
maybe we
for
can
sure.
kind of see what we got going on there too. Shameless plug.
I wanted to ask you about the different color effects, because it created such a different presentation of the flowers based on the coloring. It was just really well done. I really like that.
Can I just search it? Is it wagmi.io? No, that's not it.
No, you could just put in the browser wagminft.net.
I'll just go to Twitter. Oh, wagmi.nft.net or wagminft.net.
Yeah, no dots, just wagminft.net.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I think it's under listings, right? Yeah. Yeah, so these ones were these are infrared. So this is just a digital camera with a red filter, and then you process the red out in Photoshop. I won't really go through that process, because I'm more going to be talking about how film works. And how it works in Lightroom. Has anybody else here used Lightroom before?
Me personally, I will never use it. I had a bad experience with it.
Oh really?
But I can only speak for myself.
Why? What happened to you? Did you get hurt?
No, but financially it did.
Oh really?
And it put me through hell. So what happened was, very early when Adobe started introducing Lightroom as, I guess, an add-on to Photoshop, like around the same time they started adding the Adobe Bridge, Lightroom had this like tagging feature. I guess that was like in beta mode, and I didn't know that.
Oh.
And I was tagging all my pictures, but I didn't realize that at the time it was truncating the image information. If people don't know what truncating means, basically it's like cutting the coding short, because everything on a computer that's stored is machine code, like zeros and ones. So for some reason, the Lightroom program was messing with the coding of the picture, where it was no longer a picture, it was just code. So I couldn't send that to clients.
Weird.
And every time I sent it to the client, they're like, "Where's the pictures?" And I had over 3,000 pictures of an event that I was hired to photograph. I think it was like a Sweet 16 or something like that, because for a while I was doing that. And I had to reimburse a lot of the money. I was only able to save like maybe a couple hundred shots off the memory card. I had to like buy all these programs. But ever since that, I've never looked at it, never wanted to know anything about it. And I'm sure a lot of people are having success with it. And I'm sure that problem's non-existent at this point.
Well,
but
that's
it's sort of like
one
one
of
of those things, like your bad experience kind of like leaves a bad taste kind of thing.
Yeah, it's come a long way. I mean, it used to be just basically an extension of Photoshop where you could just do things quicker, but now they've made it more intuitive and made it like you almost don't even need to put photos through Photoshop unless you're doing this kind of thing, right? Like when you're doing like IR where you have to add like a whole other blue filter to it to take all the red out and process it like this. Then you'd go through Photoshop or HDR or anything, like if you're merging images or anything, doing HDR something like that, then you go through Photoshop. This is just basically touch up, but now you can do more kind of crazier stuff. Let's see. I'm working on my next collection, which is like kind of New York themed. It's like all stuff I took in New York. So here's here's the one tower. I replaced the sky out with what it was before.
Somebody was just asking about what the last picture was for.
The last picture?
Shot. Yeah, the last one you showed.
This one?
Oh no! That was me. I asked Hyder Martin to put a link. I'm not sure what the link was for, and I recommend people not to click on links in the chat.
Okay.
Looks like they put a link, but I don't know what it was for.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so disregard that.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm working on this kind of stuff right now. My next series on Ravenous will be a New York series. I'm gonna put up some more vintage car stuff on nftraven.net. So here's like, oh, that's not original. Do I have
Love
original?
that.
Yeah, I mean that's the one. So here's the original. This is what it looks like when it's just kind of printed or transferred, scanned from film to digital, like on a disc or whatever.
And that's already beautiful as is.
It's already beautiful. I know, that's incredible.
It's not too bad, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the nice part about film is you can get into the dark, right? Here it's grainy. That's just what film does. You can get into the dark real nice, and then you still have all this detail in the clouds, right? It's not all destroyed like it. I mean, the new digital cameras are really good now. They have pretty big exposure latitude, but film was kind of like the go-to for a while, where you wouldn't lose all that information in the clouds. So here, that's just it, kind of fixed up a bit. I still got to do some work on it, but this one's a little better.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I can see you bringing out more of the details.
Bring out more details, lessening details where I don't want it. Mostly here, I'll start. Here's another one too of One World Trade Center. I'll do a few of these, kind of like the lighthouses too, where I've changed the color processing on it, like, and done like different kind of contrast looks. So I've done a few already like that, and then just change it, the blue tone and the sky tone, make it kind of pop art, I guess.
That's amazing. So you're really not adding color, you're just kind of like embellishing the color that's already captured in a way. Am I correct in thinking that?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, there are sort of those hints of tone in it, but I'll just show you kind of how I do my process here. There was one that I was already working on before, and then it didn't really save properly, so I'll work on it again. So I was working on this one, and this is just this is in Hoboken, I think. I believe it's the ferry terminal. I don't know, Sircron, if you've ever been here.
Maybe in passing, I don't recall. But before you jump into doing some work,
Sure.
I am excited to see you do some work. I would like to know if anyone has any questions for Dan, and I'd also like to welcome everyone who's here, because I know Indy came in. Hello, Indy. Inks showed up. Hello, Inks. E.T. Haven't heard from you, but hello.
Yo.
Hey, how are you?
All right.
I just wanted to let everyone know. Thanks for joining. I hope Sunny don't mind I speak on her behalf. I appreciate everyone being part of what we're putting together and creating, because this really is, for us, by us. Like back in the day, the FUBU brand, for you, by you. So this is sort of the FUBU of Ravencoin NFT community.
I love it.
I'm wondering if some people are getting into the spaces and not go into the Google Meet links because it's all muted in there, or does the spaces hear what we're saying? I guess you'd have to do the Google Meet link, right?
Well, yeah, the Google Meet link is up at the top. If they're not clicking on that or checking that out, they're just kind of sitting in the emptiness of that space.
Right.
No pun intended.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone is muted, so the link is tagged. I hope they're seeing that.
Yeah, and I'm messaging people too, and I'm going to message this other person too right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like so continue. Sorry.
So should I just go on with the showing you guys like kind of how?
Yeah, let's watch some artists work.
Okay. So here's it's funny being called an artist because it's such a, my whole career it's like you're in between, like you're a technician, but you're sort of an artist, I guess, like video and broadcast and things like that. It's weird. It's sort of an in between. So like this is a scan straight after, from the negative. I mean, obviously it's not a negative, but a film print scanned, digital. This is kind of what it looks like, after it gets developed. And then this film's a little weird. It does it's random. It does lots of different things, depending on how you expose it. But yeah, I mean, there's still some detail in the sky. Sure, it's like blown out a bit over here by the clock tower. So that's kind of things like that I'll work on. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. Like if anybody, wants to chime in and talk about what they'd like to see, I can kind of do something like that. I think I'll probably replace the sky. This is kind of a one that I did when I sort of fixed it quick. I wasn't really looking at doing NFTs at that point. So it's just kind of a slight adjustment. I'll take off, like in the main version, like can you guys see my options and stuff here?
I see it, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, like it exposed it down to try and get that down a bit. And then I did some vignettes, so that's why it looks all kind of, like that. But I'm gonna take that vignette off now because it's giving me more options to do stuff a little bit differently. And then of course, like for film, like your noise reduction, your color reduction, noise, definitely, like that's what's great about Lightroom now. Like you could, like, look how noisy it is. It does a pretty good job at figuring out what, taking down some of the film grain and things like that, which is pretty awesome. So they got some new, like I do a lot of masking usually, like for the sky replacements and stuff. This is a great feature that they just added in the new Lightroom where the, is it picking the opposite? Oh, that's being weird. Sometimes it's just likes to do its own thing
So
too.
it's selecting the wrong area.
So delete it. Maybe I didn't pick sky. Maybe I hit select subject. That's why. Okay. And it's pretty good usually. Like see it detected the sky pretty good.
Oh wow! So the program itself was able to distinguish the difference between the shapes, and one is being sky and one is being architecture.
Yeah, I mean it really kind of it does it based on luminance, I think. So like it will know the sky is, should be this bright if it's day, and then it just kind of whatever algorithm it uses just determines what's sky, what's not sky, I guess.
That's amazing.
Sometimes it's not very good. This one's good because it's pretty contrast. like it's pretty dark down here, and the building's like much different color and much different tones, so it's being pretty good about it right now, but sometimes it's weird.
And that's all straight through Lightroom, or did you have to buy like any specific plugins or something?
Oh no, that's just base Lightroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're starting to sell this. Sell it to me over
Oh
here.
yeah, I mean it's gotten a lot better. You
But
know.
that's what I hear when I'm hearing the buzz with photographers. They seem to be using Lightroom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, like this is it's pretty good. It's slick. You know, once you really get into stuff though, I can show you with an image that's already released. I'll show you after. But once you really get into some color correcting though, the program likes to lag. It lags quite a bit. So it's like sometime I was replacing like sky on one picture because it was all blown out. It was just white. So I just made the sky like more purple in it, and it didn't like it because I had to go in and tweak stuff on like boat masts and like really like detailed areas where I had to get in real tight to kind of, you know, trace around little areas, and it didn't like that. So it's good, but if you get into like things like that, you kind of have to flatten the image and release it, and then, you know, bring it back in and start doing more kind of after. I didn't want to do that. So I'm just doing a quick clone heal right now, which is nice about, I don't know if you've seen clone heal or you guys know about it at all.
I know about it just as a tool in Photoshop.
Yeah, like clone
10
stamp.
years of my life was 10 years of my life was invested in that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So basically they just have the thing in here now, and it's pretty straightforward. So like in film, you get, like, especially my camera, it's old, it's crappy, it'll rip up the film strip sometimes. So like this kind of thing shows up where it's actually, you know, some of the emulsion of the film got ripped off when it was processing. So you get like some of these little dots sometimes, and then you just clone heal them and they're gone. It just kind of blends it with the crystals and stuff around it. And you can see like the difference between film and stuff and digital, you can see, right? Like look at, see the there's no just pixels there. There's no uniform straight pixels. It's crystals, right? It's literal crystals on there that kind of make
That's really beautiful seeing it like that close up.
that kind of make the image, right?
Totally.
And that's what kind of gives it more of a organic feel when you look at stuff. This stuff, it wasn't scanned at a high enough resolution to really see it too well, but the sky, you definitely see it real well. Anyway.
Yeah, that's one thing digital that I've always, like, when I first started like working with digital pictures, like after like doing my own like prints and stuff, I was like, oh, look the same. It's all fake looking, but you know, you get used to it, you just accept what it is. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, where you lose a certain level of life from it. You know, it's the only way to really say it. Like there's some life taken out of it.
Oh yeah.
It's digitized.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But if you know, the scanners are able to retain some of the information, that's wonderful.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the problem with going to the drugstore, is that, you know, they don't have a high enough resolution scanner to do what I really want. But then if I go do that, you know, at a big, like a professional place, they'll charge me so much money to just scan like a single image, right? Like, you have to be kind of selective about what images you want. Sometimes I don't, like, sometimes I won't get my film rolls totally scanned to disk, right? Because it's not worth it. You just want to see what's good first, and then just get them to scan the ones that look good. So this one's a little weird because I do have the sun right behind the clock tower, so it kind of makes it this crazy kind of contrast range. Let's see. I don't like this. There's this weird kind of orb here. I might just try and see if I can clone stamp that out. No. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. That was pretty good. Clone stamp. So I'm working on the sky right now. Let's see what I want to do. So I changed tint. Oh, I'm not selected on it. So I can change like the sky to like a deep blue. Make it look more real, I guess.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about this concept is that you can sell things as one of ones, but still keep them as a collection. And because I know visually, I like to look at like your first collection that you put up, that visually they just all look so nice together because they look similar, you know? So
right.
Yeah, it's.
I think my plan was, I want most of my collection stuff to be one-of-ones, but then I wanted to have like an option where I could make multiple and do different ones, like the lighthouses. Where
Yeah, and that you could have it at a price point where people can get into. That's so it's nice for the collector because it brings the price, because you can have a little bit more of economy of scale, but still keep the. So yeah, I think photographers are in a unique situation because I think collectors really do want that unique photograph. They like that idea, or having a limited series, having the series be numbered. They hold them to a different kind of standard almost still.
Yeah,
even though
sure.
I think it's changing really, really fast. But
yeah, we don't know.
I really like what you've done. I like what you've done with mixing up the colors on the same image. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I like with these old buildings, like this is I kind of discovered my style by doing the NFTs. Like I wasn't really doing this before, and the whole the generative stuff kind of inspired me a little bit, just like how everything looks the same but different. I mean, I'm not trying to do that with all my pictures. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, I'll sell this one like with a blue sky and I'll sell it again with a purple sky. I mean, a couple of them, like if they look different enough, I think they're good enough to be separate, to be separate images.
Oh, totally, yeah, absolutely. And you're selling it as an NFT, and that's what's cool about that. There's no rules anymore. All the rules but we're making up new rules now.
Right.
Artists are making up new rules. I mean, you could have why can't you sell also postcards where you have 10,000 of the same image, and that's what we've done in some things, and price it really, really low, and not even intending for it to sell. It's kind of your promotional item that you can airdrop and give away or sell for cheap, whatever.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful like that. I love the purple.
I was going to jump in and just say I like the idea because I think you've done something similar with the lighthouses. So like the close-ups of the lighthouses are all the same image but obviously different colours. But then you've got on your collection, you've got like a lighthouse that's further afield, which just looks absolutely stunning. So it's like if you did decide to do, say, like a collection of different coloured ones, you could then do like a wider angle image that could be either a giveaway or like a special piece that sort of tells a bit more about the close-up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you kind of nailed the idea. I mean, I want people to have original art, but different colors and different toning on things definitely gives things a different feel. Like that was indie, right? That just was on there. I mean, your purple lighthouse versus like a black and white lighthouse is definitely going to have kind of a different feel, a different tone to it. Like if I make the sky like a bright orange or something, it's going to feel more like a sunset, and rather than if I make it real dark and purple or blue or something, it's gonna feel like a storm sort of thing. So it's kind of interesting what you can do with images just by tweaking them subtly. And I still want stuff to look like photography. I don't want to look like it's just massive photoshopped and massively edited or whatever. So this stuff, this kind of, I'm trying to, right now I'm just putting gradients in to try and get rid of some of this noise and make the blacks kind of deeper.
like that violet. I kind of really like that light violet to sort of like deep violet blue almost.
Doesn't it? It contrasts so nice with the old, green of the copper and the architecture and stuff, the old cement. I just think that it totally pops, and it like makes these new. It kind of makes the new or the old architecture seem more modern in a way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Looks great.
And this stuff, like, dehaze it. Bring that up more. So yeah, a lot of this is just like gradient type stuff. I'll probably scan that. Like I'll show you in a bit, depending on how much time. Do we run out of time in like an hour? Then we're kind of cut off, or?
Yeah, so we have about an hour. We do get a 10-minute warning.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess we have at least 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay, good. Then I'll just work on this, and we can talk and do whatever.
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. At some point, you're like, I got nothing else to say. Just, we can just go back to just chit chatting. It's up to you.
So here, yeah. See, it kind of
watching you.
It kind of took out the grain a bit. It's working pretty good. So there's original, and then we're, yeah, let's take a lot of grain out. I think I'll bring that gradient up a bit though. Like I want to get all there, that's getting it out there, but then I don't want to get that too dark, so I'll have to do a separate mask on that, and I'll do a separate, I'll kind of do, there'll be quite a few masks on here after, just because it's, you got different areas that you want to fix up differently. Mask overlay, where are you? Oh, there we go. So yeah, this stuff I want to fix up. Like this stuff's not too bad. I'll just, like the whole building here, I'll have to fix up because it's still kind of grainy, and I don't need it. Like I want to make it a little darker, so I might crop this out too. Let's see. So I got a notice today that your picture already shipped, Sunny. So it should be, I don't think you'll get it. I think you'll get it before July 6th, but it is the holiday. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to get it. I'm really, especially now that I'm learning more about your art. It's just, this is just so fascinating for me. I can't even tell you. I think this is just such a great opportunity for collectors to have essentially like a one-on-one experience, a private experience with the artist and their process, and it's just really interesting to see how your work goes from. I had no idea that it started out as 35mm film.
Yeah. And
to be able to create these sorts of effects out of 35mm film.
Well, it just, photography is it's so crazy. Like, I mean, a different digital camera, one digital camera can look different than another digital camera, and then whatever you do to it in post is gonna look different than what the same thing you would have did to a film picture versus a digital picture in post. So and I find film is more like the way that Lightroom is now, and you'll see in a bit, it's almost like painting in a way.
Yeah, now you're pairing out the pinks in the building, and now it really makes that green, the copper, pop.
Right. Once I kind of dehaze that and take away that noise, it kind of it there. I want more dehaze. Okay, that's not bad actually. If I do that. Oh,
If anyone is
okay. That's looking not bad. I might have to do a bit more touch up in this corner, but maybe I'll just do another. Just do another mask or bring the blacks down. Oh yeah, there we go. I took it right out. Nice. Okay. So yeah, and then you kind of get like you'll get into almost painting with tones and painting with light a little bit with the brush stuff. Like you know, I wanna fix this whole thing. So you can just kind of use a brush tool, and it's just like you're painting, and then you can. It's so nice because you can just use your scroll wheel on your mouse to just size it for what you need as you go along, as it thins out. I want to get up into that, so I gotta get real small. Get into this stuff. I'd love to go back to New York and do some more photography, because it just has this, I think it's just, you know, the dynamic between the old architecture versus the new architecture is just it's just crazy. I mean, London's a
100%.
little bit like that now, like this, right? Like this looks like the future is just happening in the background while this building's just left to decay, you know. But
is this? Have you minted this as an NFT yet?
no, this will be part of my next collection.
Okay, notifications on, family.
Okay, I think I might maybe I might auction this one. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one, and the other one too, the upshot with the buildings, also really spectacular.
Oh,
That would be awesome.
This one.
Those actual pictures, yeah.
This will be a few.
And the
I
other
think
one-
I'll do like I don't know, maybe 8 or something, different colors and different tones on this, and then just have them for a little bit cheaper, like $250 Raven or something like that. They won't be. I don't think they'll be utility like the lighthouses. The lighthouses are kind of. I'm gonna do some more stuff with lighthouses too, and different effects and stuff after. So we'll have a few more, and those will be like. I'm gonna do the first giveaway for that probably next week, where you guys can, whoever's holding the lighthouses can get a print. I'll do another print if you want, or you can pick if you own whatever ones you own. I'll print it for you and send it to you within reason. I don't know if I'm gonna be shipping anything to like Maldives or anything like that. If say that guy won.
Guy from Maldives.
I would just give him an NFT, I think, because who knows if it would ever get there. Even like Indy, I know if you win a print in UK, then I gotta figure that out too. Maybe
That's the problem. I know Sirkran's had that issue with his t-shirts. He had to ship one t-shirt to Korea or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I did was I found a printer in the area and I sent them the file.
And you just
So it sort of alleviates having to ship from one country to another, and it just gets printed in the country, and then it's just an easier ship and cheaper ship.
yeah. That's what I'd look
as an
at.
option, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'd look at for sure. I mean, I'd probably have to look around. I mean, they were able to take an American credit card, right?
Well, the website I was using, they handled the print. I just had to select where it was being shipped from, and then they picked the closest print shop that's part of like the network.
Oh, okay.
But what I'd recommend, like for you, for like art prints, I'm sure there's someone either in London or somewhere around there that would be able to print some artwork, and then you just tell them where it goes.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'd look at for sure.
Yeah, because what I learned when I was speaking with Morgan, she was saying that anything coming into the country, they kind of, I think they even open it and they look at what it is, and if the stories don't match up, they'll just like confiscate it to an extent, and then the person never receives it, and then you lost out on the product, and then you have to find an alternative route in getting them. In my case with the shirt, in your case might be a print, but you never know what'll get caught up in customs, and then that's about it.
UK wouldn't be too bad. I mean, I think we have because Canada's within the Commonwealth, we have pretty lax.
Yeah, it might be a little
rules.
different for your particular situation, but again, it's still sort of coming from quote unquote America.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Sorry.
about Australia, Adam? Australia?
Well, you said
No,
I've heard you say that you prefer the NFTs anyway. So if you won, I'd probably just give you a mystery NFT.
Of course. No, actually, just on that topic, then. Actually, it is quite easy. Like, I got the Ravencoin from Rave actually just arrived yesterday, as I sort of showed on Twitter, and that was it was out of the US. Was at $70 US postal. Probably around a week to come. So,
Oh my God.
but yeah, there's always a risk that it might get lost in the mail. It is. That's why I prefer just a digital one.
Makes sense.
Love your stuff, mate. Love your stuff.
Thanks, man. Well, yeah. I mean, if you were, you do have a lighthouse. You bought the one on the rocks there. So yeah, you'd be in it too. But yeah, I mean, if you won, I was assuming that if you had won, you probably wanted an NFT anyway, because you're so bullish on NFTs from what I've heard.
100%, 100%. First, like I said, it's when the art that we obviously the NFT art we buy, then we actually just do a print to put it on the properties. Obviously, we do a print to put inside the property. So for us, we don't want the actual hard copy. We actually prefer the artist to actually keep the hard copy. That's just my view.
So I'm just working on this side right here. It's kind of subtle, the changes I'm making. It's not really doing what I want too much. I think I gotta highlights. No. So yeah, like, and that's kind of stuff sometimes you need to go back and scrub it a little bit again. And then it's sort of taking it out now, right? It's dehazing, it's taking out that noise. That's what I wanted, just to make it more contrasted. I'm interested to see how that boat turns out, Sonny, so just make sure, share it with me.
Of course I will. I'll share it on Twitter. Yeah,
I found it pretty... Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I said I'm going to share it with everyone.
Perfect.
That's the fun thing about Twitter with our NFT movement, is that it's just things will go around. Really, it's just so easy to share the art and share everything. So, but I'm the same way with wanting the NFT form.
Yeah.
And it's locked because you only have so much wall space, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a digital wallet, and then you can cycle around the art very easily too. Once we start having digital monitors in homes, like that's the way I think it's going to go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really, and there's actually one artist who asked at 1 year you had to say whether or not you wanted to have the NFT or the hard copy. Like first you were given the NFT, and then you had up to 365 days to turn that. You have to turn in that NFT if you wanted the hard copy. So in other words, you had to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most people
That's a
chose
hard
the
decision to make.
What?
That's a hard decision.
I was gonna say that's a pretty hard decision to make.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me now, I mean, I more look at the prints as like as like a promotional sort of thing. It's about the NFTs, and I mean, people can take them and print whatever they want, and it's probably easier for them to do that. Like, there's so many places you can go to online now and just plug it in and they ship it to you.
Have you started adding that information to the NFTs to give that right to the NFT owners?
I haven't really, because in photography it's a little different. Because I already own the masters, right? And nothing changes that. And in law and in Canada, it's basically, the photographer always owns the masters for anything unless they have a contract saying that they sold the masters. So
copy. Just so everyone knows, I just got the 10-minute warning.
Oh, okay.
Did you want to open up the floor to more like Q&A type thing?
Sure. Yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you. You want to keep going with the artwork?
Yeah. If anybody wants
pick it.
to ask any questions, for sure. I'm just kind of tracing stuff. I mean, it's not that interesting. Well, I mean, it's sort of interesting, but you know, when you're just kind of going over a building for like 10 minutes with a paintbrush, it's not that interesting. Yeah, if anybody has any questions about anything about me or
it's interesting in the sense that you see the time that it takes for an artist to achieve the look that they want.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a just a one tool thing that makes a photograph happen. But that's I really love this style of going from 35 millimeter to this enhanced, like what you're doing there. That just is really fun. It gives it a neon effect.
Yeah, and this film for sure, it just gives you different colors. Like, you know, that's just a white boring sign that says waiting room with like a regular film stock or digital camera, right? But now it looks like it does kind of look like a neon sign for sure.
Trains, I think Inks, her mic might not be working, but she asked how many will be in this new collection. And she said, thank you for sharing with us. It's very cool to learn about it.
I think probably, I think my collections are going to be around like 10 to 15 images each. So, like this will be one. There's one. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this one because I guess I could do that. There's this graffiti that I was going to put up that, you know, I talked to you about, Crone, about doing it, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Doing a photo of people's graffiti.
Yeah, so I've heard stories where like graffiti artists like sued people over it. My thing is you're taking a photo of it because now it's sort of like almost like a dual rights thing because like now you own the rights to the image.
Right.
Now you're not explicitly claiming rights to the art. For example, it's not like you took a picture of the artwork like flat panel style, cut it out and printed it on a shirt. You're selling a photo of the art, not the art itself.
Right.
Which it can get kind of confusing once you get the copyright law stuff. Now again, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer. I'd always recommend people to speak with an actual copyright lawyer. I'm just going based on my experience. It's like, for example, you take a picture of a movie star and they're wearing a shirt that had Pepsi on it. Pepsi can't sue the photographer for selling the photo of the celebrity with a shirt that says Pepsi.
Right.
You know, you're selling a photo, not the images in it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's my take. Again, if someone can clarify, if they know better, I'd appreciate that.
So yeah, this is just like a trip I did to New York a few years ago, and I just went around with this film and went to the baseball game and stuff. So yeah, these ones that I all scrolled through, they'll be in that collection.
That's going to be a popular shot because of the baseball fans.
So I don't want to interrupt again, but I feel like any second we're going to lose the Google Meet.
Okay.
So I guess if we can just spend like about a minute just kind of pulling it all together. I just want to thank everyone for joining, everyone for participating in Sunny and I's project here, the WAGMI NFT project. We truly believe we're all going to make it as long as we stick to it, you know, stay together and keep building together. So if there's anybody who has any, you know, last questions, remarks, or want to input anything, that'd be greatly appreciated. So the time is now.
One request that would really help out Fatal Frames and all the artists that are on WAGMI NFT is to post a comment on anything that they have up on the site. That really helps the people pointing to the site. It's amazing how the SEO works. I'm learning all about it. So
there's
please go to the
comments.
website and post a comment.
You can comment on the site under your stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have a section called the NFT Gallery, and we left the comments open. So what we were originally building was basically a visual blockchain, right? We were just trying to put as many NFTs up there as possible, and we left it open to people expressing how they feel about the artwork, you know, and it's almost like a bulletin board or guest book where people can go look at the NFTs and be like, hey, this is awesome, or I love this, or I'd love to know more about this, you know, something like that, and create more engagement. And it's the NFT gallery part of the website.
Oh, okay.
So I'd hope everyone's already a member on the website. I think everyone that's here right now is a member. So I guess we'll wrap it up now because we're 2 minutes away from 5 Eastern time, which is I think 2 Pacific time. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Sunny, for creating this with me and giving Fatal Frames the opportunity. And thank you, Fatal Frames, for doing this today and demonstrating your art to everybody.
Well, I had to show off New York stuff because, you know, you're such a big deal there.
I wish. I'm just a grain of sand in an ocean.
Well, one day.
And thank you, Blockchain John. I think he just mentioned that Bruce Fenton's, Bruce Fenton or Tron Black? Bruce Fenton's podcast.
Bruce Fenton's podcast on Twitch in an hour.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome.
Nice. So...
Awesome. So I'm going to close this down now, and thank you everyone for being part of this. And don't forget to check out wagminft.net and also Fatal Frames.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
caring.
Yeah, who's that?
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Bye, guys.